What is going on YouTube? Yo, soy Hamza and I'm back with another YouTube video. Sorry, I was about to burp. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. I hope you guys have been blessed. I hope you guys ended the day green. If you guys ended the day red, just make sure to journal it, revisit what you did today, what you could fix, what you could do better, and stuff like that. Obviously, we do want to get 1% better each day, so let's make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable in doing so. But in terms of the journey of Eval to funded, we are looking pretty solid. As you can see here, we do have a $400 win today. So that is making this account at 52,500. So we're currently $500 away from passing this account. I started this account pretty much a day later, as you can see. So for this account is lagging behind a little bit, as you can see. So 51,300. And then on this account, we're currently sitting at 52,100. So hopefully this account and that first account I showed you, which is this one, hopefully we can pass this by the end of this week. Just trying to take it slow here as we get to pretty much wrapping up. Pretty much just wrapping up this evals, or both of these two evals. I just want to make sure I'm taking, quality trades that can, like highest probability in my eyes to where I can just, put in the size, pass it, and then be good, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, just trying to take it day by day. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the trade I ended up taking in the morning. Today was a pretty early morning day, as you can see. I posted on my Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, early morning. Again, I post the full P&L thing and that on Twitter. First things first, I woke up. So we did have news today. The news pretty much sent us lower, as you can see here. Pretty much caused this right over here. This was around a 200-point dump. But the trade I actually caught today, let's go ahead and jump into that. So market opened here. So first things first, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the higher time frame narrative. Wanted to see pretty much what we're doing. Wanted to see where we're at in terms of the charts. As you can see here, if you pretty much expand the 1 hour, so we do have the open, and off of open we did have a fair value gap right over here, an hourly higher time frame pre-day array, and we did also sweep this low sitting down over here, right? So we did sweep sell side, or a form of sell side liquidity. This is a pretty nice engineered low, as you can see here, just because also it's sitting on top of a fair value gap as well. So we did sweep that in the morning. So we swept this in the morning, and I'm like, okay, first things first, right? Obviously, this is going to be buy side on the hourly. This is just their highest peak, so this is going to be buy side, right? So this would be external draw. Realistically, if price were to hit this, that would have been amazing. But for the most part, price doesn't always have to hit it, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about later my train of thought of what happened. So we did this, right? So on the higher time frame, we swept sell side. We bounced off of an hourly fair value gap here. We do have a inversion here, as you can see, with pretty good momentum. Just 7 to 8 minutes after New York AM session opened, we did have a change of state of delivery here. As you can see, also this change of state of delivery was holding us pretty nicely as well. Price was currently just bouncing off of it and respecting this change of state on the 1 minute. So we do have a change of state of delivery here. Now, not only that, we did also have low resistance liquidity, right? As you can see, all of this is pretty much low resistance liquidity. Right, so boom, 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 boom. All of this low resistance liquidity, just waiting to get ran through. So we did have good draws, right? Now, price could have easily just took out this high and continued lower, or any of these other highs sitting up over here. But thankfully, price actually took out the highest point of the low resistance liquidity, right? Oh, that's not a line. There you go. Right, so price took out the highest point of low resistance liquidity. So this is also pretty much sell side. And as you can see here, we do have a fair value gap here that we did close above, but it was pretty much a fake out. Now, do we have to go touch this high? No, we do not, right? Obviously we don't. Price, as you can see here, clearly took out a bunch of liquidity as we took out this low resistance here. But it would have been nice. It would have been nice if price took out this sell side, took out this buy side, and then continued lower, right? So that pretty much would have been ideal, and maybe there would have been an entry as well. So let's say we took out this buy side, right? And then we create this for value gap. We'll use the exact same one. And if price were to retrace back into it, right, that would have been nice as well. Right, you do also have a 1 minute change of state of delivery, series of down close candle before making this high right over here, right? So maybe we tapped into this change of state as well, and then continue lower. That would have been absolutely sick, but it didn't happen, right? News happened and actually sent us lower, as you can see. Yeah, so price actually just sent us lower here. We were pretty much just dumping. I was pretty much also watching ES, and on the higher time frame, you do have some liquidity here that we absolutely just run through, right? So we do have this sell side sitting at this price point at 23,240, right? So we did also have this sell side here. We did have this 15-minute for value gap here that we just completely run through, as you can see, with a crazy expansion candle on the 15-minute. So this completely gets violated, right? We also take out this sell side here, and I'm just like, okay. So I was in a Discord with 3 other people. My power went off. It completely, literally just shut down. So I was pretty much just done for the day. But as you can see here, again, on the 15-minute, or you can also do it on the hourly, pretty much just drawing equilibrium of this range, right? So equilibrium of this range would be right over here. So this is equilibrium. So pretty much the start point of this for value gap, I could just move it a little bit upwards, right? So this is equilibrium of the range, which price literally just came back to tap into or retrace back into it as well. If you want to be a little bit more technical for the standard deviation users as well, which I've kind of been implementing every so often a little bit. Standard deviation as well lines up with the -2 to -2.5, right, as you can see here. And same thing would happen here for ES actually, if you were to go on the higher time frame. So let me just draw this. So it would be like, oops, that's not standard deviation, lowest point, right? That's not the lowest point. Lowest point is this, right? As you can see here, price also pretty much lines up right here, retraces back to the -2 to 2.5 on the standard deviation, which is also this hourly for value gap or 15-minute for value gap. So, you know, it's just cool to see, right? It's just cool to see stuff playing out like that. But in terms of any trades after this big dump, let's go ahead and talk about that. And I'm gonna go ahead and clear that. Oh wait, I didn't even tell you guys like where I entered. Sorry. So I entered off of the inverse here. Enter off of the inverse, as you can see. Inverse for value up, clean momentum, and then rest was pretty much history. So that was that trade that I took today. Let's see. So in terms of any other trade, so we are currently in a big hourly for value gap, as you can see here. We do tap into it. So let's go ahead and zoom into the 1 minute. In terms of the 1 minute, is there any potential trades here, right? I think you would definitely have to be a little bit more careful. Oh, almost slipped up. Careful. You would have to be a little bit more careful in terms of, you know, trying to bottom tick this and, you know, potentially catch a whole sell side model, right? You have to be a little bit more skeptical here, just because we did just have a dump here, and then, right, equilibrium of the range is literally down to this line, right? So it's just really close to it. So again, I think you would just have to wait for a higher time frame confirmation. And so if you look on the 15-minute, we do also have a 15-minute for value gap here, right? So realistically, the highest probability trades would be to the downside, right? Not until, let's say, we inverse this and you go into the 1 minute, you see a SMT and then like an internal sweep of liquidity, and then you catch like a fair value gap thing to the upside, then you know, right, that might be a little bit more bullish order flow. But as you can see here, the fact that this 15-minute was pretty much just holding us in bearish order flow, the highest probability trades would be back to the downside, preferably actually targeting equilibrium here. And again, like I'm talking like this, but I also do this for myself. Um, like I do backtest every once in a while, but personally, I don't really like backtesting. It's a little bit weird, just because I trade inverses, right? And it's just right. I oftentimes I just miss the trade, and I'm just like, damn. Well, there's the trade. I just skip through it. So this is pretty much I just replay, like the days, the sessions, price action, and I'm just like, okay, let's see what happened here. And then right, so it's just like little things, right? It's just basically me forward testing, I guess, in a way. um After, well, I guess this is I guess this is considered back testing. I guess it's considered back testing, technically speaking, right? Because it already happened. um so right, so bearish order flow, as you can see here. If you go down to the 1 minute, there is somewhat of a trade. I do think to the downside, of course, would have been better. So we're inside a big 15-minute here, right? We do have a smaller 1 minute for value gap here. We're going to line those up together. We do have an internal sweep of liquidity, right? So this is basically what I just said earlier about, let's say we inverse this big 15-minute, and if you want to look for confirmation to the upside, this is what you would look for, right? You would go down to the 1 minute and you would look for something like this that confirms maybe potential bullish order flow after inversing that 15-minute for value gap. Because that, once we inverse this 15-minute for value gap, we don't, right? It could obviously be a fake out and we could just continue lower, right? So you want to go inside to the lower time frame just to get some a little bit more confirmation. Is there an SMT here? SMT, no SMT here. So we did sweep this high, right? So calm little sweep internally. And you do also have this inverse for value gap slash BPR here that we kind of just tapped into. Retrace back into it, as you can see here. So you probably could have potentially entered off of something like this, right? Stop loss being around this high. That is 30 points though, but just a little bit after that fair value gap would have been 20. And then potentially, right, you do have a clear draw here as well. So this is currently sitting at 53 points, right? So this is your sell side, and you do also have a bunch of TP targets, right? You do have a TP target here, and then you do have another TP target here, right? After TP1, you wouldn't have gotten break even. You would have been real close to getting stopped up, but you wouldn't have gotten break even. So this could have been a potential trade to the downside. Let's see any other trades here. Now, you see, this is cool. This right here is nice. Just because if you look at it, right, so it's just, there's no sweep, right? I think we definitely do need a sweep of liquidity here. I don't even think there's like a small little 5-minute fair value gap here that we're bouncing off of or anything. No, we inverse that. No, right? So there's not really anything here. But this actually somewhat does look nice. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Sorry. So this actually somewhat does look nice here. Right. So this is basically a 5-minute for value gap, right? This is basically going to be a 5-minute for value gap. As you can see here, we actually inverse this 5-minute for value gap. And you do have some clean momentum here. Off of what? I don't really know. Yeah, not really much going on. I don't really see anything, right? So we inverse this for value gap, right? So that's one. Would I take this? Probably not. Again, why? Just because I think, again, we're still holding bearish order flow, so I think downside still has higher probability, but this trade still technically does end up working. You do have a small market structure shift here, as you can see here, right? Expansion candle over this high, previous pullback, with expansion candle creating fair value. right? So you could have entered, right? So this is a somewhat of a model here. Now it is a little bit choppy, but if you want to be an extra little safe, just because also you have to remember this is a 5 minute gap, right? So this is a 5 minute gap right here, right? So keep that in mind. That is a 5 minute gap. Um, if you zoom into it, right? If you want to be a little bit more safe, I definitely do think, right? We did inverse this, right? And then it's just chop. Let me just see how much. What the? Damn, that's 27 points. 25 points. 25 points. You would have gotten stopped out. Damn. Yeah. So this is a little bit tricky. This is a little bit tricky here, just because of this chop right over here. I don't really see anywhere else you can really enter off of. But again, if you're an absolute madman, you could have entered off of this retest here, and then potentially target this high here. What is this? This is a 1-to-1. Let me see what 1-to-1 would look like. 30-point stop loss 1-to-1. Damn, you would have been in the hell of drawdown. That's funny. Okay. You could have done that. Let me see what else you could have done. You could have played a retracement. Is there an SMT here? No SMT. There is no SMT here. Damn, yeah. So, yeah, this is a little bit awkward here. But this definitely could have definitely played out. Or if you're an absolute madman, you could have entered off of like something like this here as well. 20 to 25 point stop loss. And then, target is high up here. But again, shorts obviously are the more probable trades that would be playing out. Is there a trade here in terms of catching the move to equilibrium? So this is already power hour. This is already 12 o'clock. I'm not really trading that. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, so we do have a fair value gap right over here. Did sweep out this internal right here. NQ swept that out as well. Damn, not really. Huh. You do have a change in state right here on the 1 minute as well on the power hour. I think this might be the trade Justin took, actually. I think this might be the trade Justin took. I don't remember. I saw his video very early in the morning when he released it. You do have a 1 minute change in state. You do have a inverse fair value gap here as well. And this is just crazy momentum, right? And then you have equilibrium just sitting down right over here. And then you also have a bunch of, obviously you do have a bunch of TPs, just in case you want to be a little bit, safer with this trade and just want to make sure you confirm profits, right? So you do have just all these lows just sitting here, right? So this is a potential trade here as well off of the change of state on the 1 minute. Again, 20 to 25 point stop loss. That's usually what I like to do. And then to equilibrium, this would have been around 47 points during power hour, which is nice. So I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. My last video, you guys are absolutely killing it. My goal for the end of this year was 300 subscribers. I really do think we'll be meeting that goal pretty soon, which is an absolute blessing. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, hydrate, make sure to keep following your rules. Make sure to keep doing the things you're supposed to. Right? This is we're all trying to make it. So much love, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.